Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg Beast here. Welcome to episode 2, breaking down the NCAA Division I tournament face-off matchups. Sorry we're getting this out a little late. It's Coach Mamaroneck. Go Tigers, big win today. Let's get over to the Hempstead, where we were last episode. Let's go over to the Hempstead portion of the bracket. There's 2 other games there. Georgetown versus Syracuse. I'm very excited for this matchup because we get to see Riley, who was one of the most consistent face-off guys in the entire Big East, going against Jake Falk, who had some ups and downs this year, but he was in the ACC, which is an absolute slugfest, ridiculous talent, and going in and out game after game. He was one of the only people that really played well against UVA this year. I think when you look at this stark contrast, Jake Falk is 57% on the season. He has 67 ground balls. Riley is 59%, a couple percentages points better, but what really sticks out is he has 98 ground balls, so a much higher percentage of faceoffs going to himself. If we look at Jake Falk's trajectory throughout the season in this SNG world, we saw him use his wrestling background. He was a grinder. He was good at bringing you down to the rotational level. But as he started to hit some hiccups, he started to readjust, and his stance continued to improve. I know he's working with Coach Raganese. He's been taking a lot of film work in, and you saw him against UVA become a better, refined version of himself with the SNG. Rather than dropping back and rotating, he was getting in and out quickly. He was going more to a standing neutral grip, true plunger, which is when you tuck that bottom sidewall up under the ball, similar to what P. LaSalle does at UVA, and that's what he's had great success with. So Jake Falk has become more of a speedster on the whistle. His technique has gotten way more refined. He's one of the very few people I can say in the entire country who you can visibly see week by week throughout the season has gotten better. So he's going against Riley, who has shown, he's one of the only guys I've seen on film this year who's shown a complete game of top, bottom, sidewall moves as well as first step counters. When he went to Denver earlier in the season, he absolutely did an amazing job. He had a phenomenal game against their two-headed monster of T. Erlin and Stathakis, and he kept them off balance all game by going true plunger, quick rake, and he was using shuffle counters. And he was dynamite in that game. So he really made his mark, and I think that's what we're going to have to see a lot of, because if he tries to go plunger for plunger with Falk, it might be a tough day. So look for Riley to mix up his moves to really get things going and keep Falk on his feet, on his toes. But remember, Syracuse has Danny Varela, and I don't think he gets enough credit for how hard it is to come off as a guy who is a senior coming in a backup role. He's taken it on the chin, and he's done a great job. Kudos to him for having, just a lot of team first attitude. And he goes in there and he has super fast hands, and he's really good at catching off guard. So if Jake Falk is more of the physical one and Danny Varela is showing you the speed, then they have a backup option that I think can be very effective. So look for both of them to get into the game. If they are having trouble with clamps, which I don't know if it's going to get, that one-sided in this matchup, but if they were throughout the playoffs in the tournament, Luke Talago is an option as well because he has the ability to counter. He's shown that. Very Charlie Leonard-esque as the third option. So if I look down the bracket, this final game is going to be so cool because I don't think people know enough about the Bryant face-off guys. So when you look at Bryant versus UVA, everybody knows about P. LaSalle. In my opinion, the most battle-tested face-off guy in the entire tournament. He has won 221 face-offs. He's taken almost 400 face-offs this year. Not only is he 64% in the ACC, which is incredible, but he's also got 110 ground balls, and what makes him dangerous is he has 13 points. He uses a true plunger. He drives. He keeps a very vertical wrist and drives that bottom sidewall under the ball very well. He also has demonstrated his ability to rotate and exit to his wings, but he's at his best when he's getting in and out and going to the left shoulder and creating transition. So if you're Bryant, you got to watch out for him doing that because that can turn this game on its ear. Now, on the other side, however, 2 guys I don't think anybody really knows enough about. Alexander, he's won 112 faceoffs at 194 throughout the year, 57%, 68 ground balls and 9 points. So he has 9 points compared to P. LaSalle's 13. So he has 4 less points. However, he's taken close to 200 less faceoffs. That's kind of nuts. So look for him to push it in transition. He has the capability. Now, Nathan Liberty, the freshman who's going to be a future star, he's 60% on the season, 82 out of 137, with 45 ground balls and 2 points. So they got 2 guys that people don't know enough about that I think are going to be, that are just dynamite. Now, who's going to win this battle. I think Alexander and Liberty have a little bit of an edge because there's two of them out there. However, Pete LaSalle, his battery goes forever. And like I said, he's taken 345 faceoffs in the ACC, which we harp on it, and people might get tired of hearing it, but you're just going to have to deal with it. The ACC is the most competitive faceoff conference right now. Stars in, stars out. Every week he goes against somebody who is an absolute stud, and at least one guy who's an absolute stud. So look for transition to be the name of the game. Both of these units are very good at getting the ball up and away. If you are Pete LaSalle, your last game was against Syracuse. It was a tough game for him mentally. The good news is I watched that film. He doesn't have to change anything. Technically, he is great. He just keeps doing his thing. He doesn't have to doubt himself at all. He is a stud. He just ran into a guy that just happened to be super hot in Jake Falk in that one particular game. But I think if he sticks to what he's doing, he continues to believe in himself, he's going to have a great tournament. So what does the Bryant face-off unit have to do to stop him? Obviously, you can't give up transition. However, he hasn't really demonstrated a lot of comfort in using his TTL exit through to his wing on a regular basis, especially TTL to himself. He likes to rotate and pop it out to the side, or he likes to go back door. So he likes to use his shoulders. So if I'm Bryant, I'm going to go over my transitional counters over and over again this entire week. Go for the impact. If you don't have it, you immediately step and you stop him from going back to his right shoulder by coming with that reverse shovel. If you allow him to get to that back door, he'll kill you all day. And not only are you losing faceoffs, but you're also giving up a chance of giving up goals off of that faceoff. Bryant, on the other hand, if they can make these counters work, use one of your offside, draw side guys to come in and create the 2-on-1 on Petey so you can battle for your ground balls, and then allow your faceoff guys to create some transition if they can. So those are your two battles. The entire Hempstead bracket is now taken care of in episode 1 and 2. Look forward tomorrow as we move down the bracket for episode 3 and we continue to get deeper and deeper into what we're going to see is going to be probably the best first round of face-off battles we've ever seen.